So Caitlin Clark has appeared on the Bird and Taurasi show, and in this video we are going to be reacting to every single minute of this. We're going to be reacting to all 21 minutes. The video is going to be on 1.5 times speed, and unfortunately, because this here shows a lot of game footage for copyright reasons, I'm obviously not going to show that. So we're just going to be reacting to the audio right here, and let's take a listen.
Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, did you ever think you'd be back? Cheers.
Excited to be back. Don't worry. I got this nice.
She's in a can of Gatorade. I've never seen that before.
Throwback Gatorade can.
Well,
I've never seen... Did they have Gatorade cans?
well played. Well played. Sounded like a product placement.
There we go.
Our show loves it. Our show loves it.
Congrats on your retirement, Z.
Thank you.
And congrats.
Now, unfortunately, reality's coming to me now.
I can't believe she started off with the reality is coming to me talk. And the fact that they're all laughing about that immediately is good. Straight away. In fact, Taurasi, I thought Caitlin Clark was going to have to mention a reality thing. I was like, Caitlin, please say reality. The first thing Taurasi says is reality is coming to me after the reality is coming last year.
What's your big plans? What are you going to do?
You know, I keep telling Sue I thought I was going to have all this time to do all these things. I'm more busy now. So if I give you any advice, play as long as possible.
We'll see. We'll get to 10 years. Then we'll think about it.
Get to 10 years. All right, so the second half's about to start. I know you've been watching the first half. What have you seen so far?
Well, I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game there from the first 5 minutes. Which...
All right, so we're just going to stop the game talk because the game is the game. We've all seen the game.
I think they put this up there earlier, like Tessa Johnson comes off the bench or maybe for us.
Yeah, I mean, Sue mentioned it earlier. South Carolina doesn't have that low post presence. That makes it so hard to play against them. And, you know, Connecticut plays a lot like you guys did. Undersized, spread the wealth, move it around. And they're pushing the pace, and South Carolina doesn't like it. Caitlin, you had an amazing rookie season. Like, you just blew everyone out of the water. When you watch Paige play and you see her in the next level, what are the things that, obviously, she's going to take to the WNBA and it's going to translate instantly? And what are the things that, you know, it takes you a couple games to get used to?
At least Caitlin has not said the reality is going to come for Paige.
I think her poise, that's something you need coming into the W. It all hits you so fast. Is you're moving to a new city, you're trying to understand new teammates, you have a new coach, while you're trying to live up to all these expectations. And I think that's one of the greatest things about her game is just her poise and her maturity, and nothing ever seems to phase her. And you know, it's just always the same. She's always the same constant leader. So I think it'll be that for her, but also she can score at all three levels. She finishes well around the rim. Her mid-range game is some of the best I've honestly ever seen. And you know, obviously she can score from 3-point line too. So I think all that. And then she can play point guard, but she can also play off the ball. I think that'll be an interesting dynamic with Enrique. Obviously, we all know she's going number one. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of.
I love how Caitlin's like, well, we know she's going number one. So yeah,
put those two pieces together and how that'll work.
Yeah, so bad news for South Carolina. UConn is 90-2 in the NCAA tournament when leading by double digits at halftime. So just want to get that little fun stat, which is obviously, you know, says something about Coach Auriemma. Caitlin, you have battled against UConn throughout. I mean, you faced them, 3 times in the NCAA tournament?
Twice in the NCAA tournament, and then I think we played them 3 times total. We played them 1 time in a Thanksgiving tournament and the Phil Knight tournament out in Portland, which was really fun. We lost there too. Right. AZ had 1,000 points versus us. It was crazy. It was one of those nights where she got really hot, but lost my freshman year in the Sweet 16, and then won last year in Final Four.
Right. So when you play against a Coach Auriemma coached team, what kind of beast is that?
Well, I think they just are so disciplined. That's just they're going to do what they do. They're going to do it really well. And also I think for myself facing his teams, they always had some of the best scouts against me. You can tell how smart he is.
Yeah.
He understands the game. He's coached against so many really good players, and you know, there were games I would go into and the scouts were just it was just come on, why are you going under ball screens? Why are you in drop coverage? But he just made it difficult. He would throw different defenders at me, and obviously having Nika Mule last year, she's probably one of the better defenders that I've faced. She's just up in your grill. She'll pick you up 94 feet.
She's not wrong there. Nika Mule literally got drafted. I saw a ranking where it was Nika Mule was literally ranked as the 15th, or was the 20th best point guard in NCAA Division 1. She nearly became a first-round pick just because she did a good job on Caitlin Clark. Just like Raven Johnson had Raven Johnson last year had first-round talks for this year. Raven Johnson might be a W player, but if you're taking Raven Johnson with a first-round pick, either this year or next year, you are crazy.
But then he just always has an answer, has different people, and I think that's one of the best things about him. He has one game plan, but then he has something in his back pocket that he can go to, and that's going to bother you again.
Caitlin, how excited are you for this next WNBA season? New head coach and Stephanie White. You're adding Natasha Howard, who Sue knows really well, DeWanna Bonner, which I know really well, Sophie Cunningham. I mean, it seems like, from the outside, this roster's ready to compete now, which is easy for us to say. We know there's a process to get there, but when you see that and you see those names come in, what does that make you feel like?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously on paper we have a really good team, but you only have, we start training camp I think on the 27th, and then we have a back-to-back of preseason games on May 3rd and May 4th. So it's you have a very short amount of time to put that together, and
The only good thing about that is that obviously, like it does matter as far as like preseason is concerned, like training camp having a short amount of time, but it's very different trying to get a bunch of like bring in a bunch of like off the ball players who are vets who have, in Natasha Howard and Duana Bonner and Sydney Colson's case, all champions, and in Sophie Cunningham's case, played in the finals. When you've got these players that come in that are complementary pieces versus trying to bring in a rookie, heliocentric, ball-dominant player into a team whose tactic the year before was slow it down and get it into the center. So there's not that much of a transition this year.
New pieces, and whether we carry 11 or 12, like it's more than half of our roster. Like
they can't carry 12. They literally can't, unless they cut Duana Bonner or it's literally just Duana Bonner. It's the only way they can carry 12.
That's a hard thing within itself, but we should be pretty good. And like, I'm excited about it. I think what we needed was, we added a lot more experience. Like in the playoffs, we just didn't have that. We were a young group. Even Kels, like obviously with being with the Fever during her entire career, she hasn't really had the opportunity to play in a ton of playoff games. So having that, whether it's Sydney Colson, whether it's DB, whether it's Natasha Howard, whoever it is, I think having that experience is going to be really good for us and that leadership in the locker room. So I'm excited. And obviously Steph is like one of the smartest basketball minds I've ever been around. And, everybody knows that across the league. Like
that's a big thing as well, how smart Stephanie White is. Like, for Caitlin Clark saying that, like, I don't think anyone ever said Christy Sides was a good basketball mind. I don't think there was anyone that would have ever used that phrase to describe Christy Sides.
Everybody admires her and the way she coaches and the way she leads. So I'm excited to learn from her, honestly.
Off season, there was the viral picture that went around showing off your guns. Everyone's wondering, have you been hitting the weight room? Was it the camera angle? What happened?
How did you do that? I've been trying to do that for 20 years.
AI is getting out of control. Come on. But no, I mean,
it was like that. Remember when that Alex Caruso picture came out?
Yeah,
he was ripped.
Yeah.
Just honestly
what are
trying
you
to
doing
get
in the
stronger.
off-season, working on your game?
I'm trying to get stronger, like a lot of time in the weight room, and it's like something like I kind of enjoy. So it's been pretty easy for me to like spend time in there and
kind of enjoy lifting. What version of Caitlin is this? This was not the Caitlin Clark of days old. Like, she would rather sprint. She just sprinted everywhere. There was no lifting there.
Really work on that part of my game. And, I think the biggest thing on the court is just like that mid-range area. Like I got pretty uncomfortable in there when I would get in there, whether that's like, I didn't really have any floater. I didn't like taking the mid-range jump shot. So just getting more comfortable, like when I get my feet kind of into the paint and honestly trying to just add a floater to my game and, finishing through contact and little things like that. But I think just going back to the weapons that we've added this year, like there's going to be so many different things that we're able to do that I think it'll be able to make my life a little bit easier, and it should make everybody's life a little bit easier on our team.
What was it like for you two to play against each other?
It was amazing.
That was definitely a big game, Caitlin Clark versus Taurasi. That was the real first game where Taurasi was like super, super... Well, Caitlin Clark... It was the first time, actually, Christy Sides ever beat a team above 500. In her a season and a half, was the first time she ever beat a team above 500 was that game.
I've been following Caitlin for so long and been watching her college career just in awe. And to be on the court and... the first game was in Phoenix, and it felt like the last game that was ever going to be played. There was such anticipation. The crowd was going crazy. All the people that came out to see Caitlin and our teams play against each other, it really was an amazing moment. And you talked about how, if you could play against anyone that is this new generation. So I got to cross paths with Caitlin, at least for a couple games. And to me, that meant a lot, Like, we've been doing this for a long time, and to see Caitlin do what she does is, I think someone said the other day, I'm like, I want the season to start so I can watch you again.
You were saying what it was like to play against Dee.
Well, I was saying, like, that game in Phoenix, because we only played in Phoenix one time.
And that's one of the funniest things is the amount of trash talk between Caitlin Clark and Diana Taurasi in that game was crazy. Like, obviously Diana Taurasi embraced her, but like if you saw some of that stuff, and we can't forget Sophie Cunningham almost starting a brawl in that game. Sophie Cunningham like running into a bunch of people and just throwing a blind elbow towards the Fever players and then walking out. And they teed up like 4 people and didn't tee up Sophie Cunningham. That game was hectic, and the fact that the Mercury were killing them, and then Caitlin Clark just decided to just go meep. Oh my god, I can't even do it proper. My voice is so bad. I'm incredibly hungover, by the way, but I can't even do that properly. But when she started running.
And it was before Olympic break. Obviously, we had All-Star there too, but it was a great game. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we were down like 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. That was like our first win versus a team that was above 500. So thank you. I appreciate that.
And all we heard that whole week was like, Indiana, they don't get along, all this. And I'm like, great. And then I'm like, this is the most together team I've ever seen.
Is that one of the hardest things for you as a pro now? Just seeing all the narratives like that one, that your team didn't get along and just having to literally ignore it, deal with it, even though you know it's not true?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something you kind of just become used to. It's like people think they know what's going on inside of your locker room, and they just don't. At the end of the day, it's just, the girls that you have in there, and then obviously your coaching staff, and that's all that matters. And
the biggest problem is that a lot of teams, if you look at some stuff, a lot of teams used to bring their locker room problems onto Twitter. A lot of players did. And a lot of these players would know some stuff. And that's what the Fever did so well, in fairness, is that off the court. And you could see the people that were uncomfortable with some of the things. Like, even with Nalissa Smith, like, I don't think Nalissa Smith has an issue with any one of those players. And you could tell because her brother doesn't have a filter, and her brother is still a huge fan of all of those players in Indiana. So I don't think there's anything there, but it's like some of the social media stuff that she would have seen, or Dejanay would have seen, would have been a little bit of an issue, because as soon as the season finished, she basically tweeted out something along the lines of, now I can talk, or I wasn't able to say something before. So I can't remember what the tweet was, but again, like, I think the team was very together, but I do think that they made a point to not look at social media and not respond to anything.
Honestly, like, the best thing about last year is, like, we honestly had so much fun together. Yeah, we lost our first 8 games or whatever, but, like, we wouldn't have won if we didn't have a tight-knit circle or a good locker room. And that's the reason we kind of turned everything around, is just we, like, needed some time. We were a young group, and, you know, we figured it out. But, yeah, it was really fun, honestly.
All right, so Sarah Strong's got a double-double. AZ Fudd has 21 points.
There we go.
Malaysia for a while getting off, but it's still a 13.
You guys can be biased. I mean, you're making...
But this is when South Carolina with Malaysia.
Yes, I'm going to skip through a little bit of the... a little bit of some of the things, some of the questions, and let's see, a little bit of the game talk from the actual game.
Paige confirmed getting drafted this year. What do you anticipate about her playing in the WNBA?
Oh, she's going to be horrible in the WNBA. She might not even make a roster. You know, she's going to have a hard time making a roster.
There's levels to this.
There's levels to this.
There's levels to this. Oh no, I love how that's actually one of my favorite things, is that she's basically just joking about there's levels to this, and basically the stuff that she said last year to Caitlin, how wrong she was about Caitlin, then laughing about it for Paige, and is like, yeah, I'm sorry, these college players aren't that good.
Paige confirmed getting drafted this year. What do you anticipate about her playing in the WNBA?
Oh, she's going to be horrible in the WNBA. She might not even make a roster. You know, she's going to have a hard time making a roster.
There's levels to this.
There's levels to this. I mean, look, she's an incredible talent, and, you know, we've talked about the experience, the ups and downs, the injuries, and to be able to be in this moment as a senior and a chance to win a national championship, all those things are just going to help her going forward. And, you know, I think hopefully being the number 1 pick going to Dallas, it's going to be a great opportunity, like Caitlin, to go to a franchise and really put your stamp on it. I mean, when we talk about Dallas, they've been close to getting to the playoffs. Last couple of years, they've been...
They're close to getting to the playoffs. They were the 4th seed 2 years ago. They were the 4th seed in 2023.
I mean, she's going to change their expectations and everything that they think a championship should be like. And Caitlin could attest to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of similar to the situation in Indiana. You're right. Like, they already have really good players. It's just like, can you kind of come in there and help them put it all together? And I think that's kind of what they need. And, you know, they've had some good offseason additions, kind of made a lot of moves, honestly, made a few trades. And I think she'll honestly fit right in. So
I really like the Dejanay move, in fairness. I actually do. I don't really like the Nalissa Smith move. And if you're going to bring in Nalissa Smith, I don't like the Maisha Hines-Allen move. I really like Ty Harris. I really like Dejanay as a player. I don't know. I think the Dejanay and Nalissa Smith on the one team, there's a possibility that does not end well, but you just never know.
And like that arena is fun to play in too. Like, it's a small place. Yeah. It's loud. You know, honestly, they should move every game to American Airlines, because I think Paige has that type of draw. Like, she'll be able to bring those type of fans in. I know we're playing there one of our games. Hopefully the other one gets moved too. We would appreciate that, Dallas Wings, if you can move the other one. But
I love them. I love this.
All right, Caitlin, you brought up pick and roll coverage that you saw in college. Some great, some not so great. What was one of the surprises in the coverages you saw in the WNBA?
She got blitzed 94 feet game 1.
Ooh, I mean, a lot of trapping. Like, there's just so many athletic 5 players, and they're just so much longer than what you see in college. And being able to play out of that, like, it's hard. Like, you and your post player have to be on the same page, but also, like, once you get the advantage and have a 4-on-3, like, you need to score. Like, you need to execute. That's how you get people to stop trapping you.
And they were so bad at that. Christy Sides literally was like, Christy Sides could not draw something up to score in a 4-on-3. There's an entire video when they lost. If you look, one of my early videos in the channel, and this is actually on this channel, I know this well because this was the day I got monetized. This is the first day I got monetized on this channel. I'm not joking, I'll show you guys the video. There's a video of me talking in a Ibis hotel, and if you know anything about Ibis hotels, they cost, like, it is like 30 quid a night. They're the cheapest of the cheap. So I'm in an Ibis hotel, and I'm talking about Caitlin Clark's game, and I think it was in Leeds. When was it? I need to find this here. I made a video about the Spurs mock drafts. I think it was before this. Yeah, Breanna Denver Spurs. Literally, and they lost by 50. It's me in a hotel room with a Leeds scarf on, rambling about their inability to score in a 4-on-3 situation. Oh, early McTalk Hoops days. But yeah, that was the mad thing. Is Christie's eyes drew up nothing for about 15 games for how to score on that. And she didn't even draw anything up. Aaliyah Boston just figured it out. Figured out how to beat a center.
Honestly, early in the season, we weren't very good at that. And then we got a lot better. And honestly, I give Aaliyah Boston a lot of credit. I don't think people don't realize how good of a passer she is. Like, she's a really good passer.
Yeah.
There was a few games there where
I mean, great minds think alike, I guess.
she almost got a triple-double just because she moves and distributes the ball really well. So, you got to give a lot of credit to Aaliyah. But I think just the trapping, people can switch 1 through 5 or, 1 through 4. And, then you have a quick guard on you, but then you get switched and you have a longer, not as quick player on you. So there's different ways you have to beat that, but you can't really think about it in the moment. It takes a lot to talk, but I think I got better at it.
People think, and then people think basketball's easy. There's a lot to process in one pick and roll. Yeah, and that's what sets you and Sue apart. Is decisions that people miss. You guys make it before it even happens, and that's why it's
Wait, so now that you're retired, D, you can be honest. What was the most difficult pick and roll coverage for you?
I mean, I think the hard hedge was always annoying. Being a bigger guard, I feel like little guards can split it, get around it. I would always try to fight and go around, as you know. So probably the hedge was just annoying because you knew you had to get off the ball, and that's when you evolve and you try to play off the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the biggest things when I was playing you. Just the way when you're off the ball and people are top blocking you, just how savvy you are to fool them and fool the refs, and the way you use screens. Honestly, I just loved watching it up close. It was impressive. You could tell you played the game for a really long time.
If you guys remember when they played the first game after the Olympic break, I'm not joking. The tactic for the Fever was leave everybody open, and Taurasi hit 2 threes in a row, and I'm not joking. Whoever was meant to be guarding her just chose not to guard Taurasi. Taurasi, most of her points was just standing there and getting wide open against the Fever.
And it takes time to acquire those skills and understand what you can do. Who's your favorite ref?
My favorite ref? That's a funny question.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Are we going to commercial break?
No, you gotta answer.
Okay,
we got time.
My favorite.
Wow. This is good for you. Your favorite.
This is
therapy. This is a therapy session.
Oh wow, I'm gonna go with Lisa Mattingly's my favorite ref of all time. Did she ever ref you in college?
No, she runs the refs.
Okay, yeah, Lisa Mattingly was always my favorite.
No, not the Michael Jordan ref. The guy, he wears 20, the bald guy, he wears 23, and he makes every single game about him. Not the Michael Jordan ref.
Really? Yeah, she'd always diffuse me with I got you, DT.
Isn't he a Phoenix guy? To actually have a conversation with you. Come on, we just want to talk. And obviously there's two sides to that always.
Approach. Yeah, they talk about their relationships with the refs, and it's it's a two-way street. Yeah, you have to meet players halfway, and at the same time, we have to meet you halfway.
Yeah, speaking of how much D love refs and technicals and ejections, here's the time.
Oh my god.
Here's the time Diana got ejected and sent me this photo from the locker room.
Oh my gosh, you got
tossed.
Got tossed.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, Dee, tell us.
Yeah,
what happened?
I think I picked one up quick in the first quarter, which is you're always doomed when you pick up a quick one. And then I picked one up in the third quarter, and it was time to go home. So I took my ass to the back and chilled out, and my team got the win, and we went from there. But
How many second goals did you get last year?
Say that again, Kaylin.
How many second goals did you get last year?
She got suspended last year. Taurasi got suspended. The whole Mercury team at one stage, the entire Mercury starting 5 was one technical foul away from suspension.
So last year, I think the limit is 7.
It's 7. Yeah. You got 6.
I got 6.
I leave that to you two. You two know the limits.
I got 6 too.
But this year, my whole career.
Was Sophie Cunningham the one that got suspended? Because at one stage, there's literally one of my more popular videos is the entire Mercury team is about to get suspended. They were all 1 tee off.
Hey, you got too. I can see it. Yeah.
Oh wow, Sue, you're so perfect. That's good.
Okay, Kaylin, over under technicals.
The refs love me.
I'm going 4.5. Over under.
Over.
I go 6 for Caitlin this year. I go 6.
Under.
I'm going over 2.
I already told.
No way.
I already told Steph too. Nice.
2.
And it's more games.
Oh, it's more games.
The thing is,
the odds are against you.
I was close to getting suspended for our last game, and obviously every front office or your GM tries to get your technicals taken away, and they wouldn't take any of mine away. And I got 2 for slapping the stanchion of the hoop, and then I got another one for accidentally hitting somebody in the eye. So half of mine weren't even me getting to talk to the ref, which is dumb.
Yeah.
Another one was the Julie Van Loo flop. We can't forget the Julie Van Loo flop.
I hate those side technicals. It's just look away. Why are you looking at me?
Act like you didn't
Just
see
go
it.
call the foul. No. What are you for?
Oh, my God. So we missed the Twitter We missed the Twitter question that asked me what my favorite technical of yours
Oh, okay.
is. I don't remember. Did you get a technical when you spit on the floor? When you spit on the Storm logo?
I would never do that. That's
That
disgusting.
might be my favorite non-call.
Dude,
My
that is
non-technical.
disgusting.
Who would do that? Who would do that?
What an animal. I don't recollect that at all. That is
Well, that's my favorite
disgusting.
non-technical.
Oh, and my favorite non-technical is when we played in the playoff and you yanked their mask off and you were yelling at the ref, and I was like, hello. But, Caitlin, no one's as perfect as Sue.
Yeah, so that is it, lads. That is it. That is obviously just the non-South Carolina versus UConn talk. And with all of that, it was, as I've said, it was good to see. It was good to see it. That was by far the longest they, that is a really important thing that this type of stuff is happening. It's a really important thing that you're seeing Caitlin Clark no longer reality is coming. It's no longer the reality is coming Clark. It's now, you know what, Caitlin Clark has shown that she's that good. And I think it did very much go from, there was a level of, hype towards Caitlin Clark initially. And then when they felt like maybe people were saying crazy stuff about Caitlin, it was the reality is coming. And now, you know, Caitlin Clark has proven herself to be one of the best players in the world. So obviously with that, the conversation's changed a little bit. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.